It gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce to you George Johnson, a man who needs no introduction, a man who is known far and wide for his after-dinner talks.
Sure, everybody knows George Johnson, and it's certainly true that George is known far and wide for his after-dinner talks, because George bores everybody stiff. George's audience wish they were somewhere else.
Some of them small.
This guy's terrible. Let's get out of here.
Sometimes these
I can't. He's my cousin.
very fierce. They
The trouble with George is he isn't interesting. His topic is interesting, but he doesn't put it across. George keeps his body rigid and motionless. It lacks any expression whatsoever. And when the body is tied up, the mind, too, is hampered. For freedom of the body helps in freeing the mind. A good speaker lets his mind and body work together to produce the desired results on his audience. Now here's a young speaker who is really in demand, because he is interesting. As he talks, he paints a picture with words and with gestures. He leads his audience by the imagination until they almost believe they see the scene he describes. The average speaker, such as you and I, is usually afraid to make use of bodily motion in making a speech. He fears he will look foolish, unnatural, and affected. So he feebly waves a finger now and then to indicate that he's still alive, and lets it go at that. Speaking with gestures is speaking naturally, speaking the way you speak on the telephone to someone you know. Using motions to help your audience visualize what you're talking about, the way you do when you describe your new clothes. Use gestures to help free your body and your mind, so that what you say will sound and look real and sincere. You may go home and look in your mirror and say to yourself that with a little practice in the use of gestures, you might be the speaker you always thought you were.